If you bought 5 coverts as the update came out and you traded them up, your knife is now tradable. And as everyone had predicted, the market crashed for a second time. The market cap is now down to a... Wait a minute, that's not what my script says. So yeah, despite the fact that everyone expected a second market crash, not only did we not see it, knife prices are actually up a crazy amount. So why didn't we see a second market crash, and why were we expecting one in the first place? Let's talk about it and leave your thoughts in the comments down below because I'd love to read them. This video is not sponsored, but I'm buying skins for PayPal. Yes, even after the 50% CS2 market drop. So if you've been thinking about selling your skins, just direct message me on Discord or on Twitter. I offer below market price, but this is still the fastest, easiest, and safest way to sell your skins after the trade protection update. So direct message me on Discord or on Twitter and we'll get a big deal done. If you had 5 tradable reds on October 22nd when the update came out, the knife that you traded up to was already tradable. But unless you're an anomaly, I doubt that your inventory looks like this. Mine certainly didn't. So most people bought their coverts after the update from the Steam market. This meant that they could instantly do the trade up, but there would still be a 7-day trade protection and market hold on the knife. And here we are on October 30th, the 7 days has now passed, and the first wave of traded up knives are now tradable. People were expecting the knives to flood the market, hence crashing the market. And this certainly was a reasonable train of thought. As of October 25th, over 7,500 Dopplers were registered on the CS2 database, and that's just Dopplers. There were lots of knives crafted, and if those all hit the market at the same time, it probably would have crashed. But here's the thing, everyone was saying that they'll buy skins when prices crash even further on the 30th. And it is quite clear that the people stockpiling money to buy in during the supposed crash have overpowered the crash itself enough to where the market is now at above $4.4 billion. Now it is quite important to mention that the new update came out on October 22nd, but it actually came out quite late in the day, so late in fact that most people were already asleep. So most people would have done their trade ups on the 23rd, meaning that the knives become tradable on the 31st. So will we see a market crash tomorrow? At this point, it's not very likely. Many people are aware of this fact, and therefore they are waiting for a potential market crash tomorrow. And once again, if everyone's expecting it, it probably won't happen. But this new feature on Price Empire is quite interesting. It's a market sentiment indicator. You can indicate whether you're bullish or bearish about the current market situation, and it tells you what percentage of people are bullish and what percentage of people are bearish. Right now, 68% of people are bullish, which is kind of wild. Now, this is not a massive number of people, it's less than 1,000, and it's probably not super representative of everyone, but you know the famous saying from Warren Buffett, buy when people are selling and sell when people are buying, and if everyone else is bullish, that kind of tells me that selling is probably the smartest option right now. Now, while I know that this move is pretty risky, I like to go against the market. So when people are panicking, I like to buy skins. I bought right at the dip when things dipped 50%, and I sold quite a ridiculous number of skins today now that prices are up a little bit. There's always money to be made in the CS2 market, but it's always risky, and your predictions might not always be right. Now, I never believed that a market crash would happen today, but trying to predict price movements on a day-to-day basis is kind of just speculation. So instead, I encourage you to think either long-term or at least medium-term, because that tends to be a lot more predictable and you can actually use data to support your predictions. So let's do just that, and it's time to make some predictions. Obviously, this is not financial advice. It probably won't be accurate, but here we go. The other day, I put together a bunch of trade-ups and I set the prices to be accurate, and check out these profitabilities. Pretty much every single trade-up to knives that I checked is incredibly profitable with crazy profit margins. And of course, trade-ups are really fun. In fact, I'm preparing a bunch of trade-ups, so as soon as these become tradable, I'm ripping them for a video. And if they're profitable, people are absolutely gonna spam them. But I think even if they're not profitable anymore, people are still gonna do knife trade-ups just because they're fun. It is gambling after all. So here's my first prediction. Over time, as people start doing these trade-ups, they will decrease the profitability because the prices of the reds will start going up and up to account for this crazy profitability. And at the same time, people are gonna start crafting more and more knives, flooding the market with more and more supply, therefore decreasing the prices of every knife across the board. Now, I do also think that the shitty knives are gonna go down less than the good knives. If you can afford to do a $300 trade up for a knife, you likely won't be satisfied by getting this piece of garbage. You will probably keep hunting, therefore you'll sell this knife, and you'll keep doing trade ups until you hit something nice, such as the skeleton ruby. Now, I'm not saying this will happen overnight. These skins are all under trade protection. Even if I wanted to rip them all right now, I physically cannot. This will slow down the process of the profitabilities decreasing, so I'm not saying that knives will crash tomorrow, and I'm not saying that these red skins will explode in price tomorrow. This is more so gonna happen over the next couple weeks or months until things settle down, and I don't think that these knife trade-ups will stay profitable. People will do them even when they're expected to lose, just trying to hunt the cheap butterfly fade. So the profitabilities in the long term will probably be pretty ass, similar to how case profitabilities are all under 100%. Although you're expected to lose quite a bit of money every time, people are still opening cases at a loss happily. And I'm not the only believer in these trade-ups. Raffle Monster said, if the market doesn't crash, I'm going to do it myself. And just to clarify, he meant he's gonna do the trade-ups himself, and he's gonna crash the knife market. You may wonder how many trade-ups he has. 600 or so trade-ups. He spent $100,000 on these covert skins. Raffle, if you're watching, I'd love to have you on stream doing these trade-ups. It would be fantastic. And if you have 600 of them, you're pretty much guaranteed to hit some juicer Doppler gems. So just to summarize, I don't think anything particularly special is going to happen tomorrow, but I do think that reds in the current market are quite underpriced, and in the long term, they should increase in price to match the demand of profitable trade-ups. But on the other hand, knife and glove prices should slowly be decreasing as people craft more and more in these profitable trade-ups. But ultimately, I think most of the volatility in the market is gone. We obviously saw a massive crash, then a bunch of bounces up, down, back up. We will probably see some go back down again, but I think from here the market will look a lot smoother as people regain confidence in the CS2 skin market. Speaking of people regaining confidence in the CS2 skin market, check this out. Now YouTubers are reversing sales where they panic sold their own skins. Essentially, they selfishly offloaded the risk onto someone else, and when prices bounced back up, yoink, they reversed the trade. And this is not just this one person. Traders are crashing out every hour, every minute on Twitter. The CS2 market has never been crazier, but it's starting to settle down, and I'm excited to see where this is all headed.